Captain retired Paul Forjoe, a member of the investigative committee that probed the August 6th military helicopter crash, has revealed that while the aircraft was airworthy, it lacked additional safety enhancements that could have improved pilot situational awareness in challenging weather conditions. Presenting the findings of the investigation, Captain Forjoe explained that the aircraft deviated from its planned route as the crew attempted to avoid poor weather and cloud formations. He noted that although the helicopter was in good mechanical condition, it was not equipped with a terrain awareness and warning system, a predictive tool that provides early alerts to help pilots avoid controlled flight into terrain. According to the committee's findings, the aircraft encountered adverse weather conditions, limited visibility, and rising rugged terrain along its route. These terrain-induced complicating factors, Captain Forjoe said, significantly increased the difficulty of the flight, especially in the absence of ground-based navigational aids in the area. Captain Forjoe also commended the emergency response team, describing their actions as swift and commendable despite the difficult conditions at the crash site.
Now, the dotted blue line is what the planned track had been. The purple line is what the aircraft actually flew. And that took place because it was avoiding clouds and so on and ended up where it was. Now to our findings. The helicopter was airworthy, but it lacked additional safety enhancements. For instance, the terrain awareness warning system. Now, the terrain awareness warning system, for instance, is predictive. So what it does is it tells you, warns you, it gives you a better picture of the situation and puts the pilots in puts them in a position to make better judgments, to be able to see everything and be able to foretell if there are any things that could possibly create a problem. But they lack the additional safety enhancements required for the weather phenomenon over that terrain. There was adverse weather, there was limited visibility, there was rising rugged terrain, with this terrain-induced complicating factors, and there were no ground-based navigational route aids en route. The investigation would like to say that from everything they gathered, the emergency response was very timely. The fact that the first responders managed to get to the site in about 2 hours was remarkable because the terrain has very steep slopes. It was raining, it was slippery. So it wasn't the easiest thing to do. When we went to the site, it was also raining and it was very slippery. And we struggled using sticks and everything to try to get up there. So looking at everything, we would say very confidently that the emergency response was very timely.
He explained that at approximately 9:56 a.m., the crew entered instrument meteorological conditions, a situation in which the aircraft was enveloped in cloud and visual navigation was no longer possible. According to him, the crew lost visibility before helicopter crashed near Forjoe.
The flight to Forjoe was uneventful. Forjoe is approximately 90 miles from Accra, about 10 miles from Obuasi. As the flight approached Obuasi, visibility deteriorated rapidly due to mist and low clouds. At 9:56, the crew entered IMC, which is Instrument Meteorological Conditions. To the layman, it is they flew into clouds because they no longer could stay away from the clouds, so they flew into clouds. and transitioned to IFR. Now, IFR is Instrument Flight Rules. So what it means is they now transitioned from navigating using visual cues to now navigation solely on the aircraft's instruments. The crew then initiated a climb to cross terrain that they were aware of. They initiated the climb to cross the terrain. Seconds before impact, the crew stated that they could see the high ground below, so they had gone over it. Suddenly thereafter, the helicopter that was flying up, without any change in its power or in the pitch, which we use to go up and down, suddenly lost height and impacted a ridgeline at about 1,370 feet above sea level. And this was about 6.5 miles from the destination, and this happened at 9:58.